Those smell awesome. Let's give it a shot. I ain't mad at it. Mexican grilled chicken sandwiches. Let's go. This recipe is awesome. It's super delicious. It's very easy. And honestly, it's not all that Mexican, but there's a story behind it. My buddy, Judd McCutcheon, called me one day and he said, I got a new recipe you need to try. A guy that he works with said, you simply need to marinate chicken thighs in a can, the juice from pickled jalapeños. And then season them up, grill them, do what you want with them from there, and it's delicious. So let's jump into this. First things first, you can do this with chicken thighs or chicken breast. But we all know thighs where the flavor is at. My wife is right about all things except this. She says that chicken breast is where the flavor is. I can't convince her otherwise, but the dark meat is definitely where the flavor is. So we're gonna lay these out here and we're gonna trim them up. Now, trimming is not necessarily necessary if you don't want, but we are making a cooking video. We're gonna put these on the gram and we want them to look pretty. So on the chicken thigh, what I like to do is cut through this natural seam here, leaving this piece, which will fit nicely on a bun. I'm not gonna discard this piece. I'm still gonna marinate it. I'm still gonna grill it, and they're gonna be snacks that we're gonna eat. You can grill the entire thing if you want to. You may not be making a sandwich. You may be like a keto person, and so you just wanna eat the whole thing. That's fine too. All right. Take this little piece away, and then on the piece that's left, preference thing, back from my competition days, I learned to kind of scrape the fat. You don't have to take all of it off, but if it's really excessive, I will usually take it off. And that's kind of what you're left with. So I'm gonna bang all these out, put my little pieces back here. All right. So now we need to marinate. You can marinate in whatever you like. You can go as simple as a Ziploc bag. You can use, you can vac seal something. You can do a plastic container, whatever you want. Use what you got. Now, as I mentioned, we're gonna put these smaller pieces in. And then, so what we have here, this is a 26-ounce can. You just need to be able to submerge the meat mostly. These come in smaller sizes as well. And then I'm going in with the entire thing, including the jalapeños. You can grill these jalapeños, and you can serve them on the side if you like. You can put them on a sandwich, whatever you want to do. So these are pickled, again. The beauty of that is, if you don't know, a lot of the heat is basically out of the jalapeno. So jalapenos have a beautiful, what I call southwestern flavor, but there's a lot of people in different parts of the country that hear the word jalapeno or hear the word hot and they're automatically turned off by it because they think it's not gonna be for them. I'm here to tell you this is not going to be what I would consider spicy. My kids will eat this, so this is good. So while I'm sealing this up, there's a couple benefits of marinating your proteins, whether you're doing chicken or anything, fish, anything you want to marinate. So you're imparting moisture into the meat, obviously, which is great when you're grilling, but also in this case, you're imparting flavor. So what do we need to do with this? We need to go put it in the fridge. We've got some in there that's already marinating. We're gonna swap this out with. You can marinate, you need to go 4 hours or up to overnight. It's really a preference thing. I think that they are tasty and juicy enough at 4 hours. But if you want an intense marinade, then you can feel free to do that overnight. So let's head to the fridge and get some more. So I've got a wire rack on a pan here, just to just to capture some of the stuff that comes out of here as I pull this chicken out. So I'm gonna reach in here and just lay the chicken all across this wire rack so that we can season it. You can pat this dry if you like. It's not really necessary. And the reason that I want to use the wire rack is anytime I'm cooking something in the Traeger that if I'm doing a bunch of pieces, so several chicken pieces, pork belly burn-ins, whatever, this will allow me to get in the Traeger and out one time instead of having to keep it open, dump a bunch of heat out, and be in and out of my grill. So, and also just simpler. All right, I'm gonna kind of separate this by my bigger pieces and my smaller pieces just to make it easier to work with. There we go. I'm gonna go ahead and, as I mentioned earlier, I'm gonna throw some of the jalapenos on here. Looks really nice, and then a lot of people are gonna wanna eat some of these along with the meal. Now it's time to season. I'm gonna use my fajita seasoning, Dia de la Fajita. So this is salt, pepper, onion, garlic, and a hint of citrus. Season with what you want or what you like, whatever flavor profiles you like. And you can season both sides if you want. These things have a lot of flavor, so I'm just gonna season one side of these. I'll tell you, this is always a preference thing. So, you know, I said I was gonna season one side, but if you want a bunch of seasoning, then do something like this. But on my fajita seasoning, it doesn't always need it. This is kind of a salt-forward seasoning of ours. I'm only gonna do it on the big ones. You made me change my mind. So a little bit goes a long way. You don't need a whole lot. This big one. There we go. So I would normally let this sit here, but I tell you what, we're making a cooking video. I'm gonna jump in the next steps because we have a couple more things that we need to do. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to remove this rack from the pan. And the reason I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna go in the Traeger just like this. When possible, I prefer to get the heat and smoke on the bottom as well. Will improve your flavor and your grilling experience. So today I'm running a Traeger at 400 degrees actually. So anytime I'm grilling, especially chicken, burgers, things like that, I like to be 400-ish or a little bit higher. So we're gonna go straight in with this. We've got hickory pellets running today. This is a pretty quick grill, so flavor of pellets, less important than it is on a longer cook. So I'm using hickory today, but other good Southwestern flavor would be mesquite, another good favorite of mine. So in we go.
Oh shit. You said a tri-tip? Yeah. A surprise tri-tip.
Wow, look at you, little fella. Yeah. That's awesome. I almost kept going. Actually, I forgot my thermometer. Let's do that real quick. I use a meter probe. I'm gonna use my thickest one, my thickest thigh right here, so we can go right in the middle, monitor my temperature. Now we're going in the Traeger. All right, while that's going, I want to make a delicious sauce to baste with, and this is going to be very simple. 2 ingredients. We're going to go Traeger hot sauce and some butter. Turn my induction on. I'm going to combine these, I'm going to melt it down, and we're simply going to baste periodically throughout this cook. We're building flavors. You know, we've already marinated, but now this is gonna give it a new element, and the butter kind of cuts some of this hot sauce so it's not too hot. You can do this to taste, your preference. But this gives just, like I said, building flavors, just another added element of flavors while you're grilling. So our butter is completely melted, nice and mixed in, so I'm going to go ahead and start basting. While the chicken's cooking, I'm gonna go ahead and get some of my toppings ready. You know, I've made these plain for a long time, but sandwiches are a personal thing. So you can dress this however you like. We're gonna put cheese on these at the end. Cheese and mayonnaise is a great option. But today I've also got some guacamole and red onion. You could do lettuce and tomato, whatever the heck you want to do. So I'm just going to slice some rings up here, and I'm going to top with this and guacamole today. Also, you always have to have toasted buns. So we've got here some artisanal ballpark burger buns. Super simple. You can either use butter, or I love to use mayonnaise. Duke's mayonnaise, the only mayonnaise in barbecue. Put a little bit on here, spread it on. We're gonna throw those in the Traeger while the chicken is grilling and get these toasted. Lift off. The chicken is temping in the 130, so let's go ahead and baste a second time. Probably burning. God almighty. They are. Got a little busy basting and let the bottom buns get a little too toasty. Top ones are perfect, so re-mayoing some more and back on we go. All right, the chicken is all over 165, and with dark meat, you've got a lot of latitude. You can go higher and it's not gonna dry it out. So I put together a little heat glove setup here, cotton gloves with nitrile gloves on top, just easier to handle stuff. Those smell awesome. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna build 4 sandwiches, so I'm gonna grab the 4 biggest thighs to cheese those, put those back in to get that cheese to melt. All right, here we go. Use whatever cheese you like. We're going cheddar today. And I'm gonna do this until what I call super melty. Okay, let's get our buns ready. Well, I've let them cool off a little bit. They smell so good. I'm gonna just dangerously jump in, to be honest with you. And plus, I've got a beer, just in case they're too hot. One moment. Oh yeah, that's good. Okay, like I said, you can mayo these and eat them just like this, which is what I do 9 times out of 10. But we're trying to French it up for you today. So we're going fresh guacamole. I feel like the coolness of this guac is gonna help counteract any potential spiciness we have going on. We'll find out. A little red onion would be nice, just like my favorite burger topping. Well, it smells awesome. Let's give it a shot. I ain't mad at it. That is so good. Oh my God, look at that pro level catch. You get that on camera? That's epic. 1 for 1 on the catches. So I'm not grabbing the beer. I'm proving to you it's not too spicy. And I'm a guy that can't handle the hottest of hot foods. That is delicious. Chicken thighs, just the juiciness and the flavor of that. I love the cheese on top. The guacamole and onion's great. The crunch of that onion was amazing, but basting with the butter and hot sauce adds a layer of flavor. Juicy, juicy thigh with that marinated, they marinated in that pickle juice basically. I mean, I'm telling you, not too hot. This is so good. This sandwich was so popular in my Facebook group that it got haters after a few months because all my Facebook group was people marinating stuff in bags. It's that good. So I'm telling you, like I said in the beginning, it's not all that Mexican, but Judge Chicken is delicious. Anyway, if you guys like this video, you gotta like and subscribe. You can get this recipe below in the description. You can also get it at Traeger.com. Every week, we're gonna have new recipes and videos for you guys. Cheers. That's really good.